welcome back to Valid with an Accent. I have one of my favorite females with me right now. How you doing? Please
I'm good.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Ania Bey, A&R, visual producer, all things entertainment, all things veganism, herbalism, you know what I'm saying? This is my girl right here.
And I was gonna tell you that because I know we don't really like the question, what do you do? Because
yes, a lot.
We would be here all day.
We would, right. That was the small,
yes.
you know.
But there's a couple things I really want to get into. First of all, you have your own platform that you do, right?
Yes.
The Ania Bey show.
Yes.
Yeah, let's start there.
Okay, well, it's a news podcast. And it's pretty much to go against the agenda, a lot of things forward the agenda. So it is to end like fear-mongering. We are becoming above the news, trying to learn how to be more of ourselves and not really care what other people think. Right. So yeah, it's really just a place for a safe space for me to really just include people in what's going on in the world without being scared of it, you know?
Where the news makes fucking sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Over here, at least.
Fire. That's fire. When did you start that?
So I actually started last April in 2024. I was graced with the opportunity of interviewing Kevin Gates, which is my only interview.
We're getting there. Talk to me.
But I had to stop. My grandfather passed away in November, so I kind of took a step back. But we are relaunching in a couple of days,
May
which is
7th, right?
May 6th.
May 6th.
Yes, which is next week. So I'm super excited. This time around, you guys will get tired of me. I will be releasing an episode every day. They're short clips, so it's not a lot to digest at a time. But, you know, we're doing news that other brands aren't covering because we're not gossiping. We are not, you know, just doing things that create toxic energy.
Right.
I'm trying to talk about things, you know, in regards to food, how to make better decisions, you know, things that kind of teach you something. You know what I mean? So
I love that about you because that's just one thing you do. You know, a media personnel, you have, in the industry, but you're just such a dope person. Like, really, so much I want to talk about. You make your own cheese. You make your own... Bro, this bitch makes her cheese at home from scratch. Talk to me about that. What inspired the lifestyle? I know there's a lot of, like, you know, additives, or whatever the fuck you say that. Yeah.
She shouldn't be talking because she's so particular about what she eats, too, because she doesn't eat dairy, she doesn't do gluten. So we have a lot of that in common. But honestly, like, I'm lactose, which most people are.
Okay.
So I was just tired of feeling bad about what I'm eating. You know what I mean? And I've definitely gone back to certain habits that I used to have, you know, when you're kind of depressed and in low energy. Mm-hmm. But the goal was to eliminate as much ultra-processed food as I could because I realized that it guides my mind. Yeah. So I'm able to do better and be better when my gut is actually healed. So that's why I try to do everything that I can to not use things that have shit in it that I can't understand. Because if you read the back of the packaging, it's like, listen, I'm not a science experiment. I know they think that we're a science experiment, but baby, I'm human. I want to have a family. You know what I mean? And fasting is something that really helps you stay focused. Yeah. You know? And I know she knows that because Lila don't play about the stuff that she eats, okay?
Right, but that's what they say, like, you are what you eat.
Yes, legitimately,
yeah.
Yes.
Isn't it so, like, time-consuming, though, to make your own stuff at home?
It is when I don't... Well, it is when I don't plan. Okay. So meal prepping is super important, and I'm becoming better at that because there was a point in time where my schedule got so busy that I'm buying a lot of food outside, and then I'm like, oh my God, my stomach is like inflamed as hell. Like I got an attitude problem. So when I meal prep, it's all good. And so I try to do that on like Sundays where I'll make like food for the week. So like I recently just made a cheddar cheese out of like cashews and nutritional yeast. It's super easy. If you go on YouTube and you type in like how to make cheese, you would be shocked.
Can you bring me some? I want to try.
Of course I can.
My dad makes like homemade bread and his own coconut milk. Yeah, meal prepping is one thing. It really helps when you have a packed schedule.
Yes.
But for me to like start like making cheese at home, no, thank you.
I felt that.
So I admire you for that. So you definitely need a clean spirit, a clean energy, especially when you're in this industry, when you're all over the place and you catching up with yourself and stuff.
Of course, and I know like Glorilla, she promotes a fast every time she goes on tour, and she'll do a 30-day no meat, straight working out, no gossip, and I think that needs to be kind of promoted a little bit more because the liquor, the Don Tavius, the seafood boils, the bacon, egg, and cheeses, everybody's talking about eating for their taste buds, but no one's talking about the effects of that.
That makes you feel heavy.
You know what I mean?
Tired, no energy and all that.
Yeah, and then you wonder why certain people, your favorite celebrities, have horrible attitudes. But we won't get into that.
Right, talk about that. You know what's crazy? When I first met you, only because you have a strong personality.
Mhm.
I'm like, she's definitely a bitchy person, like, you know, but it comes with the fact that we do so many things, you know, we are so busy and we just like can't be fucked with. We don't got the time for that. But at the end of the day, look, you're such a dope person.
I appreciate that.
And do you think you are an easy person to deal with though?
I think that it depends. Again, I am a strong personality. I really don't accept a lot of energy. And I have a lot of strong boundaries, what people can take as being, oh, feel like I'm better than the program, or
I mean,
you know, I'm good, but I am. And anybody watching this, I would say you are also better than things that you don't want to accept in life. And I think that everyone around me that knows me, I encourage the same energy. So you shouldn't accept things you don't want to accept. You don't have to be around things you don't want to accept. If you have boundaries and you don't want to talk to anybody for a week, no one should make you feel bad for that.
Right.
You know, I have a lot of like situation with people because I need alone time. And I take my time very seriously. So like I meditate, and there are times where I'm so overwhelmed that I can't talk right now.
Right.
And I accept that from others, right? I'm not like pressuring you to kind of like be here for me because I need you. Like it's not about me. You know what I mean? Like I love when people put themselves first because I was a people pleaser. You know, I did that already. And now me in my 30s, I'm not with nothing.
You're so, how old?
30s, babe. Listen.
It's getting serious.
It's getting serious, and it's beneficial for you to be around people who know who they are. Like if you know your homegirl takes time for herself, it shouldn't make you feel bad.
Right.
It's like, yo, let me check in. You good? Yeah, babe. I holler at you in a couple days because I'm going, and that's cool. And I love you for that. And I appreciate people who put themselves first. Like, so it's like, no, I'm not easy to deal with. And honestly, I'm cool with that because at the end of the day, you shouldn't, like, we're not for everyone. And energy is very particular. I like aligned shit. So if it's not aligned, I don't want parts.
And that's the thing people gotta understand. It's okay.
Yes.
Because for you to be here and talk the way you talk,
yes,
it took a lot of L's, right?
Oh yeah, we just talked about that. Yes.
That's my family. Because you just said you see people like having all these like winnings and doing like all these amazing stuff, but nobody talks about the shit that you have to go through and the L's that you need to take.
Yeah.
To get to where you're at right now.
Yeah.
So what else is it that you can think of that you had to take and be like,
boy.
okay, that was an L as a lesson, not a loss.
That's a loss, exactly. I can say L's that I've taken is missing like important events with my family because I've had to lock in with editing, or I've had to, you know, leave the state to do projects, or, you know, it's just my schedule is so overwhelming that I miss these big moments. But I'm learning how to balance that. I could also say I've lost friends, honestly. Learning myself because they weren't willing to grow with me. And instead of accepting the things that I'm learning about myself, it was more of a judging kind of thing. I can have a friend and not speak to her 3, 4, 5 months. And if you call my phone and we're both aligned, babe, first of all, we're going to catch up. I'm probably going to fly to see you if you don't live in New York. Like, it's still the same energy with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't really get that back. But I think it's called trimming the fat. A lot of the time, you meet people, but they're here for a season, not forever.
Because people think, I feel like, oh, we're friends because we see each other every day.
Yeah.
Just because we see each other every day, it doesn't make us friends. And just because we don't see each other every day, we're not going to be not friends.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And I'm cool in my own skin. And I think that I just love being around people who like that. Like, I like to be by myself because that means we're aligned. So when you need a moment, I get it. When I need a moment, you get it. And when we don't need a moment and we want to be together, we get it. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, the L's just really be like going through the motions with people and also relationships, you know, like it's hard to date because I'm super intentional with what I want.
Yeah.
So I've had like, you know, some weird situations
Talk
with
to
people,
us.
like, you know, meeting guys and they expect me to be physical with them in the 3-month period. And I'm looking at them like, listen, dude, I don't know what you're used to, but I'm just not sharing my body with the guy that I met 3 months ago. Like, I'm just not. And I'm so sorry. And I love that.
I'm not sorry.
You know, right? I'm not. She's right.
Sorry.
I got to stop doing
We're
that.
not sorry because, yeah, you see, like,
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, no, like, I love you, babe, but listen, it takes time over here, and people are in a rush. Everyone wants this instant validation or instant gratification. I like the long term. You know?
We just spoke about that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, literally. We had a great conversation because, babe, I personally am at the point where I'm just okay with the no's. I like the no's. The no's get me closer to my yes. And you get way more no's than the yeses.
Yeah.
So when you do get the yes, you know you're supposed to be there. It's aligned. It's perfect.
Correct.
Like this show that she's doing. You get what I'm saying? Like she had to stop doing things that she felt like was her thing, like school, to do the things that you wanted to. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like there's really, the L's that are lessons aren't bad. Like they're actually amazing.
It's just like guidance.
Yes.
Like guidelines that, okay, you are on the right track and stuff like that.
Exactly.
You said you need like time to yourself.
Yeah.
It's because we're not in our like teens and like early 20s anymore.
Yes.
So it's perfectly normal. One of the things as an independent female, I wish I could have differently at the moment, but I'm not there yet, is like living situation. I would love to have my own like home.
Felt that.
Build one, you know what I'm saying? Not just necessarily just from like apartment to apartment in New York, figuring out, do you live by yourself? Have you ever had roommates?
Yes, I live by myself. I actually started where I live with a roommate, which didn't really end well. But I do live by myself. I told myself I will never live with a person again unless it's my husband. And even that, I'm like, not in the beginning. Like, we have to, like, do the whole, you got a place, I got a place, come to each other's place. And then we realize, because you stayed at my house for this week, oh, I can actually live with you. That's cool. But, like, I've been alone for so long, I'm, like, traumatized. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So what's some crazy roommate stories you had? Because I had some crazy ones, too.
Girl, oh, my God. So when I moved into this apartment, I got, like, a sweet deal. It was a sublease. So it was, like, $300 to move in. And my homegirl at the time was like, yo, I'm trying to move out. It was a 2-bedroom. I'm like, all right, pull up. No shade. So there was a couple of things that had happened prior to us moving in that should have let me know this is not a good idea. But again, this is me and my people pleasing. I was 28 at the time. So people pleasing. I'm like, nah, come, you're good. So they're like, I'm not gay, not bisexual, but there was a time in my life where there was a certain like girl, like, doing things that I was confused about. I'm like, wait, she's sending me selfies like this.
Bro.
And I'm like, I do that to guys. Like, I'm getting videos that I send to guys from a girl. So I'm talking to my friend like, hey, like, do you think this is like weird? Like, is she trying to like holler at me? And she was just like, yeah, I think she's trying to holler at you. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. I wasn't like against it, but I was just like, I don't know what to do, like at all. She says, we can try.
Somebody just told me.
Lord Jesus, I didn't take the hint. I didn't understand what was going on. I just said no. I'm like, nah, we don't gotta do that. Like, that's cool. And I still allowed her to move in. So when she moved in, like I had a boyfriend. He moved my shit in, he moved her shit in. Like, he was super helpful with the whole situation, but it became like a problem. Like, she would say things like, oh, your man's looking at me when I'm in my robe. The nigga don't.
No, he's not. Like, let me tell you now, bitches be doing the most. Bro. I'm telling you, like, guys are not. I'm not protecting nobody right now, but bro,
my room is in the back. Her room is like in the middle, and the bathroom was there. He never left my room. I would feed him in my room. He wouldn't sit in the living room because he was
chained to the bathroom.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna guarantee you, not looking at nobody in no room
at all, because I'm butt ass naked in here. He trust and believe he's good. I promise. So she would make certain comments like, oh, your man's looking at me. We told each other we weren't going to have any guys in the house and all this shit. I'm paying rent here, babe. You can bring whoever it is that you want to bring in here, right? So it was bad because at the time, her best friend was my artist. And me and her were doing like shoots together. So we would go.
I don't like those things when it's like, you know, somebody who's supposed to pull up and then they come with somebody you don't fuck with. And I don't like those situations.
You feel me? And it wasn't even that I didn't fuck with her at that time. We were just going through it. I'm a person, I live by this rule. Whatever happens in my house stays in my house. I am not the person to go gossiping, to talk about the issues that I'm having at home. I'm going to talk to you about it. Right. You get what I'm saying? So the girl who was her best friend was my artist. We were going to like go get our hair done, but not really together. It was I was taking her because we had a photo shoot. So she would say things like, oh, you don't let me come and get your hair done with me. And I'm like, sis, I'm not sitting with you for 6 hours for no reason. I'm going to get box braids that are this big. Right. Like, that's not like a thing. But I would do things like have roommate dinner nights with her. Like, I would make sure that we spend time because she was one of those people that like to do shit like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not against it. But it became like overwhelming to the point where like I had to tell her to leave. You feel me? Like the apartment was my apartment. Her mom lived 20 minutes away. She had somewhere to go. So I went to Miami. I came back and this girl is bigger than me. So we had to get into a fight. I might have took an L that day. I'm one of those people, I am okay with saying that I might lose a fight, babe. Like, And I was not even trying to go down that route with her. So I sat on my I will never forget this shit. I sat down in my living room and I'm like, hey, this is not working. You gotta go. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I feel uncomfortable in my home. Like, this is not working out, right? So boom, that's when the antics start. Because I didn't tell her she had to get out now. She had like 3 weeks to leave. So now we have mutual friends. She's running her mouth. She's talking to all the mutual friends about what's going on in the house. I said nothing, right? First instance, I go to a mutual friend's party. She's like, oh, well, I don't want no fighting in my house. I looked at her and I said, what fighting? She was like, yeah, whatever you and such got going on. I said, see, this is what I'm talking about when it's like you're gossiping because you need someone to tap you on the back or make you feel better about what's going on. This girl started attacking me in public. Like, I'm sitting there, she's acting so gay. I'm sitting next to a guy, she's like, oh, you like that? I had cow print pants on at this party. She's like, look at the girl in the cow print pants. Like, it was so diabolical. I was like, yo, the devil is a liar. Yeah. And I was like, I'm into crystals and stuff. So at that time, I was doing a lot of prayer because I wanted to be above this. So I had my amethyst. Girl, I was burning candles in my house. Yes, I was like, God, protect me. I don't want to have to fight. I don't want to have to like be in a situation where I feel like I have to defend myself. So she would literally like try to attack me. But you know when someone don't really want to fight, so they wait for people to stand in front of them before they start jumping like a fucking animal? She would do shit like that. She's sitting there yelling and screaming. My friends come, girl, bye. You okay? Oh, let me have a conversation. She sits there. Your dad is coming to the house. Your sister is coming to the house. I feel so uncomfortable. Sis, you're talking about my father right now. Like, first it was the boyfriend, now it's the father, now it's my sister. It's like, it's getting out of control. You really got to get the hell out. So now I don't want to speak to you. But let me tell you how powerful prayer is. Because I never once yelled, screamed, argued. And I used to come into the house with girls in her bed crying. Because you're fighting demons, babe. And instead of you just being like, I'm really sorry for making you feel away. And, I want to be able to move past this, even if we can't live together. Like, no, it was like a nightmare. So we had, again, mutual friends over and we're all sitting on the couch. And she's like, guys, I got to leave. And they're like, oh my God, why do you have to leave? Ask her.
She like that is weird.
Girl, I said, let me tell you something. I'm not talking to y'all about my business in this house. Y'all better do something else. Right. And everybody kind of kept going with their day. But it was like multiple instances of someone trying to make me feel bad for choosing myself. You get what I'm saying? And, at the end of the day, it people separate. She called the cops. Let me tell you something. Hold on. It gets weird. So this girl again is bigger than me. If we fight, I'm losing. So now, when she threatened me in public, I told her she can't come back to the house unless I'm there because I felt like this girl was gonna wake up and have a knife to my neck. You get what I'm saying? So I was like, she stopped coming to the house. She was staying at her mom's house and she said she would just come back to get her stuff.
And this is the girl who was sending you like selfies and stuff?
No, this is the girl that told me she wanted to try, that I allowed to move in. So there was another girl trying to holler. This is how I found out
she was... the two was the same.
No.
Like, this bitch dumb freak that she was not with him.
No, so there was another girl and I was asking her like, oh my God, what do I do about this shorty trying to holler? And she was like, let me try. So she fake thought we were gonna be in a relationship when we moved in.
Oh yeah, no.
That's weird. So now, once I told her, just come here when I'm here or when I have some type of protection here with me because I really don't trust the situation, she called the cops and told the cops that I'm threatening her.
Oh, she called the cops.
Girl, that is God. Let me tell you about prayer. You do not have to fight battles. You don't. Because there's no reason a girl 3 times my size who's attacked me multiple times in public is calling the cops on me.
Right.
That makes no sense.
Right.
She's like, oh, she's provoking me and she's this, that, and the third. I said, sis, let me tell you something about you. You're crazy.
You're dumb.
You're insane.
Yo.
You feel me? And at the time, the girl who I subleased the apartment from called her, was like, you need to get your shit out, like now.
Like,
you feel me? Like, we're not about to play this game. And then we separated, you know what I'm saying? And it's been bliss. Like, all of the people who were involved, I stopped talking to all of them because, again, y'all didn't tell her to stop talking shit. Y'all didn't tell her, listen, we don't have nothing to do with y'all issues. Like, y'all figure that out. No, you continue to talk shit and then smile in my face and have you in my crib. And then when I see you, don't think we friends. We're not. You feel me? There's one girl that the girl who was my artist, I speak to her now. Like, she's super cool. And I don't think she had anything to do with that. Mm-hmm. I just think that, again, sometimes you just have loyalty to certain people. And I didn't take offense to her picking her best friend, that's your best friend. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, I'm big on honesty. I'm big on showing up and being neutral, especially in situations when friends are beefing. And I don't talk about what goes on my house. So that let me know, like, number one, my energy is not for everyone. That was a great learning experience about prayer working in my favor. And also realizing I don't gotta fight battles because I'm protected as hell, right. You know? So let me tell you, roommates, I mean, I do it.
Yeah, before I tell you, like, one or two of my craziest roommate stories, I know you said that you're not really jacking people who are cool with people you're not cool with. So I guess it comes from shit like this.
Yes.
Because I usually say that I don't mind if you are cool with people like I might not be cool with, as long as it's not gossiping and shit. Because at the end of the day, we can be cool, and I don't care what you do with the next friend of yours and whatever, because we don't talk. But if it turns into, like, you know, like people ganging up against like the third person and like talking shit behind each other's back, like, I don't do that, so I don't need you around me to do that. Y'all can hang out, we can hang out.
Right.
Just because we don't hang out.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
It's like that. Like, I don't mind it, but I think that people are not able to compartmentalize. So it's like...
It's a yellow flag.
Yeah, so if you're talking shit to me about people that you're around, I already know you're going to do that to me.
That's it.
So I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't have issues with a lot of people. So it's like, if like my brother has a problem with this guy, I would never talk to that man. He violated my brother. You got what I'm saying?
That's different. Hold on. When it comes to my brother,
you got what I'm saying?
Really, bro,
we're not
clip for you. Like, so clip, like
clip. And I consider all of my friends like my family. And trust and believe, if I ever get to the point where I'm looking at you like, yo, this person is, you know what I'm saying? I'm dead ass. Like, and something happened where my life was at risk, or you got what I'm saying? Something that makes it, because it's like, okay, people gossip all day. You can talk shit. You want to be friends with that person talking shit? I don't give a fuck. But when it comes to my life and someone trying to literally attack me, no, I don't want to be around that. Like, and I don't like the fact that you would be around somebody who did that to me.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. If it's severe cases, let's say if I met the previous roommate of yours.
Yes.
And then she's trying to be friend, and then I'm like, oh, I made a new friend. And you tell me like, oh, that's the bitch. I'm like, oh, you know, never mind.
Never mind. We can't do it.
Never mind.
Sorry.
Yeah. Like that is, when I lived in Brooklyn. Right,
Okay.
I had 2 roommates. It was a 4-bedroom.
Okay.
The landlord was using one of the bedrooms as her office.
Okay.
Already weird. Never mind. Then for a minute, I was living there by myself, right? Then 2 sisters moved in, right? And I wasn't really like feeling their vibe. You know what I'm saying? They were from like down south, and like, you know, like some people, I don't know. For me, like I never had like culture shock experiences here or anything, but I had. Just like looking at people like, you're not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
You said like, everybody's your cup of tea.
Yeah.
And when it comes to roommates, you don't always get to pick and choose like who you live with, you know? So long story short, one time, I was away for the weekend. I was in Philly for the weekend. I come home on a Sunday, right? And I had a boyfriend at the time. So I'm like, before he pulls up, let me like clean the bathroom real quick, right? Like a little small shit, but mind you, I just like got back from Philly. Mm-hmm. So I go to the bathroom. Girl, when I tell you, there's shit smudged all over the bathroom.
Shut the hell up.
Literal shit underneath the toilet bowl on the outside.
Ew.
And then you can see somebody was trying to clean it, so it's even more fucked up. On the handle, on the wall, on the paintings on the wall, on the mirror, in the sink, shower curtain, like everywhere. I deleted the pictures because it's like there's some things you don't want to look at, right?
Yeah.
So I text the roommate group chat. I'm like, is everybody okay? Like,
not is everybody okay?
I'm like, what happened? One of them was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. The other one said, everything is fine. I was just, I didn't have the time to clean. I went out. She basically left the shit everywhere and then decided to like get dressed pretty and go outside. So she said, sorry, I didn't have time to clean it up before I had to go out, and please don't look in the trash can. When I tell you that the trash can is not even in the bathroom, it's in the kitchen, and it's an open kitchen concept with the living room, dining room, all one area, right?
I'm disgusted.
And what's that? The trash bin, right?
Yeah.
Was full. So that item that she said not to really look at, which was a shitty leggings, was sitting on top of the trash, like hanging out. I'm like, bro, so now I have to clean that because my people is coming over. I'm like, whoa, that's not cool. That was
but
so
what
traumatizing.
happened?
Oh, what happened, bro? You see, so what happened? She said, supposedly she got drugged because she went out with like guys that she didn't know and da da da. So supposedly they dropped her, and then she was so drunk too and like high and everything that she had to shit, but she didn't have time to make it to the bathroom.
So she shitted on herself.
Yes, and then she tried to clean it, but she didn't have time because she had to go out to the next function.
The shitty shower curtain got it, because that means that shit was flying. She was like, woo, 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 woo. Girl, bye.
So that was one of the,
No.
And then the other one, before these two moved in, same apartment, right? It was I'm saying older lady. She was like 42. She's not old, but like older than me. Like a cat lady. You know, like you going through menopause by now, probably. Like it's, you know, like knocking on the door type shit. And you're just miserable. You don't love your job. You don't love your living circumstances. You don't have a career. You don't have shit going for yourself. You have no man, nothing in your life.
Depressing.
Right? So one time I had a visitor filming, and then she might have heard stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Like I live there, you know, so I got to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
So when I tell you that she texts me like 4 a.m, like, don't ever have anybody over. I'm like, Rose, put some music on if you don't like the situation, you know?
Yeah.
And then she texted the landlord about that and
oh
everything.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's jealous.
Shit like that. And
she wasn't getting none.
And she did say that. Because she was like, how dare you like move here from a different country and you play the system. I'm like, bitch, you're not playing good enough then, I guess. Like,
I love that. Yo, Lila, that's play with her.
Because
what?
She like that. So I'm like, yeah, it's not for the weak.
It's not. Roommates are not for the weak. And then know what's even crazier? Like, towards the end of our situation with the roommate or whatever, she had a guy come over and just fuck her and leave. And what's even more interesting...
I mean, don't be staying at my shit, but you're not paying rent. So
that's true.
Do your thing and get the fuck out of there.
This is true, but it was also a guy that my homegirl told her was trying to holler, but she was complaining to me about having my man in the house. How are you complaining to me about having my man and you got this random nigga in here and I'm not even complaining to you? I'm like, girl, do your thing, whatever. Let me see what's up. She thought I was leaving that day. So she could have her little guest over and then also start complaining to me about the niggas that I have over. Like, no, sis.
Yeah, it's like
I peep what you doing. It's okay. And I will never. I promise you.
It's hypocrisy for me.
Listen. But I think, again, these experiences are not to hurt you or to, you know, like make you feel bad. It's just to let you know what you have toleration for, like what you can tolerate. And I realize my shit is so low, I cannot tolerate a lot of different shit.
But even if I could, like, shit like this, it's not an ideal living circumstance.
Right.
If you really think about it. So, okay, I've been through this, like, fuck shit. I know what my goal is when it comes to my career.
Yeah.
So I know that this is one of the factors that, you know, play a huge part. And
Yes.
I need to change. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Hence, I need to work fucking harder.
Yes.
Because it's just not giving what it's supposed to give.
Right. And this moment you'll never forget. This is when you built the podcast, when you have roommates. Like the start of your whole thing was when you had roommates. So this is a crucial time that will always be a part of the journey.
Yeah.
That you'll never forget. Every person that you've interacted with was necessary, was handpicked for you to learn certain lessons. That's why I'm here for it. I'm like, I like when I meet conflict now, right? Because it's like now. Before,
heavy on the now.
Yeah, heavy on the now, because I didn't get it at first. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But now I realize that it's literally just for you to realize where you want to be and where you never want to be again. You know what I'm saying? So conflict isn't bad.
I have the luxury to know that, okay, this shit I don't have to keep up with, so I won't.
Yes.
Like I'm not forced into a situation
yes.
where I have to stick in this shit because like I can't make it out because my, you know, the circumstances are not there.
Yeah.
Okay, this is it now, but this is the first and last time that this shit gonna happen because I'm out of here.
That's a fact. And that situation also taught me I could say no. Like I used to be scared of hurting people's feelings. And at that point, I don't care no more. Because no one's gonna protect me but me. Yeah. So it's like now it's easier for me to say no. I've done left big labels that are telling me, oh, you need to be chasing the clout. You need to be utilizing the names of these artists to build your career. And I'm looking at them like, no, you need to pay me for my time. Like, I really don't care about what you think I should find value in. No, I will leave. I don't care who you are. I will always choose myself. That's one thing my grandfather told me before he passed away. He was like, you don't stay in places too long. You don't overplay your freaking role. Mm-hmm. You do what you need to do in the time that you need to do it. And when your time is up, you will know. And that has been my biggest lesson out of all of this. Like not staying in places too long, understanding when things are aligned, knowing who loves you, because love is hard. It's not this beautiful, blissful. Everyone's like, oh my God, like, no. Love is when someone can look at you and be like, yo, you're fucking up. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, I need you to be better. And only people that love you will want you to be better. A lot of people who claim to love you, but also allow you to stay in mediocrity, they don't love you.
They don't.
Because they most likely don't love themselves and want to be mediocre too. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you start doing this, it's like, you get what I'm saying, right? I only like people who challenge me, who allow me to be like, listen, you're great, but this is what you could do to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know, I love you, but you did this and it hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like those conversations because I just want to be great, you know? And I just want to have people that I can keep around for years. Yeah, you got what I'm saying? And they can be like, bitch, you fucked up. And I'm like, I love you. Thank you for telling me. You know, so.
And that's how you know who you can love as well. Because,
yes.
You know, love has no bullshit, because at the end of the day, you can be somebody I love, you know, but if you don't love me back, if you're not on the same page, friends, family, relationships, no matter what, it's just not gonna be like, it has to be a mutual thing at the end of the day. Because for me to be able like, yo, you know, like, you should do this like that, or like, you fucking up. Yeah. You need to like absorb that and accept that. Yes. And be able to move accordingly. So when it can go smoothly without conflict and confrontation, that's how you know, like, okay,
this
like,
is safe.
This is here for the long run.
Yes,
you know
totally.
So yeah, you're definitely one of them people.
I love you. No, Lila, let me tell you, Lila don't play. She will let you real quick, like, listen, this is not it. I be loving it. Oh my God. Like, too, totally.
What's some things that give you the ick?
The ick?
Yeah. Because I be getting the ick a lot.
I get the ick a lot. Like, I feel like...
Just in general, like, anything.
Oh God, a lot of shit gives me the ick. Oh man, like when I see people who are, like, I know them, but they're trying to pretend, that gives me the ick. I think that, you know, like, oh God, the ick. How do you even explain this shit? You know, people who are like pretending. Yeah. Like I just did an aura reading before I came here, right? And like my biggest thing is I can absorb others' energy. I can read someone without even talking to them. So it's like a lot of the time, like people just don't show up as themselves and they're super like timid or like just like refrained. And it gives me the ick because it's like I was there, right? So I know what it is to feel like, oh, I can't be myself and shit like that. So when I see people around that are like playing like coy and shit like that gives me the ick because I'm like, get the fuck out of that. Yeah. Like stop doing that. Like I need you to show up and take up space. You know what I'm saying? I love people who take up space. I love people who are intimidating as fuck. Yeah. Like I love people who can show up and be like, bitch, listen, back the fuck up. Yeah, back up. Give me my space. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think also like men give me the ick. I love men. You feel me? I do. But
it's a love and hate relationship.
Yeah, like, you know, not to really get too deep into it, but like there was a guy and like he did this video and it was like this Christ-like thing and it just was so ridiculous. And it's like I was trying my hardest to like move past like this physical like, but he's like shaking his hair. It's like slow motion. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh. No, sorry. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, that's not it.
Like, you can blink the wrong way and that gives you
the ick. But it's like...
That's the boundaries. And that's, I'm like, okay, like...
Yes. Yeah.
That's the shit you don't keep up with no more. Do you think that college education is needed? I know you have some background with like, you know, journalism, right? If I'm not mistaken, and this, that, and third. You think it's...
Not really.
Not really, okay.
I don't know how I became a journalist, to be honest with you. I don't know. I never did an interview. Like, I didn't know how I even got here, to be honest with you. But I have a degree in accounting. You do not need college. I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money. I worked corporate for a couple of years after school. I worked like private sector. I also worked government sector. So I did like the budget for the New York City ferry. I also did Coney Island shit, like, and honestly, it was a good experience, but waste of time. I still owe like $75,000 in student loans. I would never promote my children to be into school. I would want them to get a trade because now my skill set makes me more money than my degree did.
Correct.
So I don't really believe in college. I think that it's good discipline, but I also became so traumatized by the experience that I low-key had to relearn like a lot of different shit. Like I have a lot of friends that have degrees in like these crazy ass and they're not making no money. They don't have a job. They're broke as hell. They live with their parents. Like, and I'm out here doing things that I never went to school for. My degree is in accounting. I am a media personality, and I work in the entertainment industry. Whoa. That is, the only thing that benefits me is that I know how to handle money, and I also can help other people and other artists like deal with their money because it's like that's something that I do. But other than that, that shit is a waste of time. Go out and figure out what your heart burns for and then follow that. Pay for certifications in that.
Yeah.
You know, instead of spending 4 years at a college that probably won't get you anywhere.
Right. I mean, I'm doing my master's degree. I was just asking because I be realizing that obviously, and
Okay.
where I'm from, like family-wise and, you know, like country and everything, people be like, oh, you need a degree, you need to like have a PhD and
Right.
another degrees in
Same.
order to be somebody.
Yeah.
The only thing I think, or the main thing that I got out of my college experiences is the connections.
Yeah.
Having a good connection with a professor can get you stuff that,
Yeah.
you know, people who didn't go to school and don't
I
have
agree with
those,
that.
But that's it, like education. I can go on YouTube and figure out how the fuck to hack the, I don't know, website, you know what I'm saying?
You got what I'm saying?
I don't need a cybersecurity master's degree for that shit.
Yeah. What are you taking your master's in?
Cybersecurity.
Oh, I love that. But I see things like that is still a skill set. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to learn something and you'll most likely get certified in whatever computer science, or like you're going to leave with a physical piece of paper that allows you to practice in cybersecurity.
I mean, when I tell you, yes, but also at the same time, I went into it. Same thing. I'm in the industry. I model. You know, now I'm like connected to people in the music industry. Like, fuck, I know producers and engineers for like. You know, I would have never imagined. You know?
Totally.
And so when I started my degree, it was because I'm like, okay, as a female in the IT field, you know, it's a lot of money. But at the same time, if you're not passionate about something, it will never bring you money.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Versus you waking up in the morning, oh, today I'm shooting my podcast.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to do a segment on Still Got the Juice. I don't know what I'm saying. I have a photo shoot. I'm working on this calendar, this, that, and third. That gets you more money and more opportunities and just more purpose in life in general.
I agree with that. I
started my IT journey like in school, not even knowing what a motherboard is. And now we have an exam. They were like, oh, here's this paper, you know, like see how much you know. Everybody from India with like a ethical hacking background. And I'm over there like a motherboard, a router. Yeah, I have no idea. So it's like shit like that is. Yeah.
I think it's super beneficial to put yourself in those. Like the experience itself is what helps you grow.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not against it, but I just know from my experience, I'm just like I went and worked in these white boy clubs, and I worked with people who didn't think I was as smart as I did, and it created like animosity in the workplace. Because this little black girl, I was managing $1 billion budget by myself. You know what I'm saying? And I asked for interns and I asked for help, and it was like a whole thing. Like I had a whole EEOC case with the city because the heads of my department were smuggling money. Like there was money missing and invoices missing and all this. And I only worked there for 4 months, babe. I didn't even see $1 million yet. But they tried to blame me. But they have not realized my mother is clean paperwork. Let me tell you something. She sued my high school when I got into a fight because the girl beat the teacher up.
I'm crying.
And I got a super intense suspension. And my mother went and said, the teacher told y'all that my daughter didn't hit her, and y'all still suspended her as if she did. Sued them, didn't have a permanent record. So I've been a little girl seeing my mother fight with paperwork. Do not play with me. Dude, please don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't work a corporate job. I quit in 2019, and I've been following my journey. But I stayed up for 24 hours editing my show because I'm so passionate. So now I'm a freaking editor. I am like master CapCut. Like, don't play with me. I could probably charge somebody to do it, even though I kind of do. Like, I do
the
content.
amount of sessions on FaceTime we spent together trying to figure out
editing,
how to edit stuff on CapCut, and oh, this didn't do that. Okay, so wait, let me call you real quick. Oh, and then boom, we figured
it out together. And I think those are the moments that I think that's school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we sit there, we learn from each other, and now she knows how to deal with shadows, and she's like, okay, I know how to tweak it. I got to do this. I got to color it out. Like, let me tell you, don't play with her. She a graphic designer.
We design flyers over here. We edit videos.
Yes.
Content.
Yes.
You feel me? Don't play.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna say too much on my corporate job experiences because I still work corporate.
Okay.
So
that's all good.
Once I quit that, I'll be back with some,
some tea.
Cherry on top.
Right. She don't want to lose her job just now. You gotta wait till she leaves.
We're gonna wait a little bit, feel me? So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. I know you have a busy schedule, so I appreciate you taking time out. for that.
Great.
Let them know where they can find you.
So you can find me at Ania Bey, ANIABEY, the show, The Ania Bey Show on Instagram. And yeah, everything is I am Ania Bey, TikTok, Facebook, everything.
Tap in.
Yes,
It was Lila
tap in.
Foreign with Valid with an Accent. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Later.